Hey now, it's the Deadhead Daddy, and welcome to the very first episode of Tunes from the Groovy Room, where I'm just gonna go through my music collection and show you guys some of the cool stuff that I have, and maybe you'll dig it. All right, all right, all right. So we're gonna start with some of these really groovy Grateful Dead um, cassette tapes that I have that I was gifted. I apologize. I don't remember the whole story anymore about how I got those tapes. So I'm just going to wing it. But I want to say 2022, I was having a conversation online with a nice older lady who went on tour with both the Grateful Dead and the String Cheese Incident and a few other bands. And somehow in that conversation, she mentioned that she no longer wanted her cassette collection. So, of course, I'm like, I will take it if you don't want it. And she was nice enough to give me a whole bunch of shows, which we're going to go through. And unfortunately, I don't remember this lovely lady's name so for the sake of content, we're going to call her Moonbeam. Okay. So we'll go through Moonbeam's collection. And yeah, also, I realized that even though it's been a few years, I really haven't had much of an opportunity to listen to these tapes. I don't know which ones work, which ones sound great, which ones don't sound so great, and all that. So, through this series, before I make the video, I'm going to actually listen to the tapes and kind of give you a review as well. So, let's hop right into the very first tape. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. This tape says King Biscuit and the Dead Hour. So, and the date is Sunday. I think it says 9/98.5. So, let's see what else is on this bad boy. Okay, side A says Grateful Dead Hour 1499. And then it says 227.69 at the Fillmore. Jerry slides 2/3 of the way in before Hell in a Bucket. And then it says for side B, Grateful Dead Hour, Terrapin plus more good stuff. Plus live on David L. with Grissman and Garcia doing Devil. And then from the Fallout from, which I am assuming is the Fill Zone, and then it lists David Gans, www.truckin.com. All right, obviously because of copyright laws and all that, I can't play any of the audio for you, but I did take some notes, being a good deadhead, and I'll tell you what happened. So, side A starts with Cold Rain and Snow, and it is by Pete Rowan and Tony Rice from March 28th, 1998 at the Spirit of Shawnee Music Park, Live Oak, Florida. And it's a pretty cool tune. It's a nice to start out this tape with just some old school bluegrass, and I enjoyed it. After that, we hear a little David Gans chatter, and then it goes right into the King Biscuit Flower Hour. Now, I think I'm going to do like a little side trip of King Biscuit Flower Hour. Why not? But I unfortunately don't have any of the actual official Grateful Dead or bootleg Grateful Dead of the King Biscuit Flower Hour. I do, however, was able to find a Uriah Heep King Biscuit Flower Hour. So that's kind of cool. Okay. From the King Biscuit show, we hear Bertha, Promised Land, Cold Rain and Snow, and Red Rooster. Unfortunately, the tape isn't clear either, obviously on the liner notes or in the show itself, what show or shows these were taken from, but they are pretty groovy um, pretty groovy versions of those songs. Then there is like a station break before we get into Hell in a Bucket and Terrapin Station, which is cut off at the end of the tape. Now it did say something about one of the Fillmore shows in 1969, and unfortunately, it's not on there. So I don't know if they were using that to take notes or what, but I was a little disappointed because I did want to kind of hear that. But I am lucky enough to actually have the complete Fillmore West 1969 box set, so I can listen to that show at any time. Okay, so let's flip over to side B and see what's there. Hey, I just want to take a little break from the content to send out a shout out and a little thank you to Desiree Rosalie Arts. I entered just a quick little giveaway on her Instagram not that long ago, and she sent me this really rad, super cool sticker. And then I think it's always cool when the fam sends a little extra, so she sent this cute little Thanksgiving themed sticker as well. I'm super happy to have it. I love her work and I love the sticker, and I can't wait for the springtime so I can peel off one of my old dead stickers that's fallen off and put that in its place to show it off to the world. All right, again, thanks for the slaps, and let's get back to the content. All right, here we are for side 2 of our King Biscuit Grateful Dead Hour cassette tape. Side 2 actually obviously continues Terrapin, and there's not much of a loss. We pretty much get most of it, and there is a little bit of a break for the show after that, and then it goes right into Not Fade Away with Bob Dylan. Again, unfortunately, the tape or the liner notes don't list what shows some of these songs are taken from, and that's a little disappointing. But hey, man, it's a Grateful Dead mixtape, and it's just fun to listen to the tunes, even if it's no context. Also, these breaks are kind of cool because if you're old enough and you remember recording songs off the radio, I think a lot of this was just done on the fly as a mixtape because there's a little bit of commercials in the breaks and things like that. Again, not a whole lot of information on the shows, though, themselves. Okay, so after Not Fade Away, we get Jerry and David Grissom doing a really cool mellow version of Friend of the Devil, and it's actually from the David Letterman show. I don't have the date. Hey, if you want to comment what that date was, that would be great. But I've always been a big Letterman fan, and I know Letterman's essentially a Deadhead, and so it was always cool to see the Dead and any offshoot of that on his show. I know he loved them, so that was a cool little addition. Then we get to the section of songs taken from Fallout from the Fill Zone from side 2, and it's kind of weird because they're re-recorded on this cassette tape out of order, which I thought was odd. Maybe it was just whoever was making this tape put it in preference. But it starts off with Visions of Joanna from the Spectrum on March 18th, 1995. And Jerry actually sounds really good on this version. 90s Dead for me is a little hard to listen to because I'm also a big Jerry Garcia band fan. And to me, there's a huge difference between 90s era Dead and JGB, where Jerry just sounds really tired and worn out on the Dead, but he still has a lot of energy on the Garcia band stuff. So it's nice to hear him sound so great on this. Then we have Box of Rain from Alpine Valley Music Theater, and that was on July 19th, 1989, followed by The Music Never Stopped, also at Alpine Valley on July 17th, 1989. And then we close out the tape, with Jackarow from the University of Alabama on May 17th, 1977. And unfortunately, it is cut off on this tape. But I am a solid God Show era Deadhead till the day I die. And I will say that's because really with Keith and Donna coming in, it's where they really started to become like the Grateful Dead jam band that they really became, in my opinion, anyways. So I'm really excited and really happy that on this Jack of Row, um, Keith just sounds so great. So I'm excited to hear that. Unfortunately, I do not have a copy of Fallout from the Fill Zone. So it is kind of cool that I have some of it now on this cassette tape. All right. Well, thanks for watching this first edition of Tunes from the Groovy Room. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's really rough, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this series and format and all that. So we're going to be changing it up a lot. If you have any suggestions, any questions, any details on some of the stuff I said, like dates of shows and things like that, or want to know more, please leave a comment. I would appreciate it. And of course, like this video and share it. Let's build the Grateful Dead online community a little bit more and get to know each other a little bit better. If again, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, so I'll probably go back and forth between formats, cassette, CD, and vinyl. And I'm not just going to focus on the Dead because I have a whole lot of other stuff too. So tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to know. And as always, stay grateful.